Okay, Mayuri, stay on with us. The forward story will begin starting 10 when the counting of votes kicks in. Yasha, but as far as the political atmosphere is concerned, BJP, the role it's playing in the Mahayuti alliance, you were telling us how it could come down to the heft that the BJP holds vis-a-vis the Sena. Going by that dynamic and what we've seen play out internally in the Mahayuti camp, how do you see this weighing in for the BJP if the Mahayuti were indeed to take this forward?
So yes, when we speak of Mahayuti, when it was decided as to the number of seats that were divided, we clearly saw that NCP does not really hold that kind of a power. In BMC, also decided to go solo. This was the Ajit Pawar faction that we speak of. Here, clearly with the kind of numbers that you've discussed, in fact, with Mayuresh, what's also important to note is that the equation or the numbers that we really see of, because there's clearly been a prediction that BJP would be single largest party, followed by Sena, followed by UBT Sena, and then followed by Eknath Shinde's Sena and MNS. So here, if you understand the whole dynamics, if the exit polls are to be believed, the Shiv Sena of Eknath Shinde and MNS, they've kind of replaced the smaller parties or the Congress. If you compare this to the elections of 2009, to an election that took place 9 years back of BMC, the figure was more or less the same. Of course, then there was an undivided Sena. It was a Sena with BJP. BJP and Sena, had more or less garnered the equal number of seats, just 2 seats short of BJP was what UBT Sena had gotten around 82 seats is something that we understand. So in all of this, the figures, if we go to see, of course the margins have changed, the gap between that has changed, but the sequence of the parties gathering kind of vote remains more or less similar. Of course, if the polls that we believe, the Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena would be anywhere between a 60 to 70 range, which is a fall of around 10 to 15 seats from the earlier elections. But now this very mantle, when it comes to Mahayuti, or for that matter, like you've asked me about the Shiv Sena of Eknath Shinde, let's compare this to what really happened in the last 1.5 years. Maharashtra has seen 2 polls already in the last 1.5 years. This being the last one until we see the next elections coming 4 years later. What's important is that there was a Lok Sabha election which clearly went in the favor of Mahavikas Aghadi. But the Mahayuti picked up from that. When it comes to Vidhan Sabha elections, there was a clean sweep by BJP. Clearly, it seems that the BJP has picked up from there. They've picked up the momentum from there, gone ahead to, in fact, work really hard, have that momentum continued in the Nagar Parishad and Nagar Panchayat election. And now the momentum continues for BMC if the exit polls are to be believed. What was important for Eknath Shinde's faction was in Vidhan Sabha election, it had become quite obvious that the Marathi Manus or the Marathi vote, the whole fight here was for Marathi vote. Let's make that clear. So here, when it comes to Eknath Shinde's faction, when it comes to Vidhan Sabha election, it was becoming quite obvious that the Marathi Manus who used to believe in Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray had switched their sides and had decided to choose Eknath Shinde. Now, if the polls are to be believed, if Uddhav Thackeray gets a bigger number as compared to Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena, what will be interesting to see is the kind of vote share or the vote transfer that has taken place. These are figures, but what goes in eventually is to understand that the Marathi pockets, be it Govandi, Shivri, Worli, all of these pockets which are stronghold for Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray, because all of these areas, right from Parel to Hind Mata to also the Lal Bagh area, all of these have basically been Shiv Sena pockets. Now here the last call or the last fight is about gaining the trust of that Marathi Manus. So if the Thackeray brothers, coming together would have managed to gain that confidence, then it will almost be like a comeback from the Vidhan Sabha election. Though they might not get that kind of a seat, it will be a comeback. But if that vote has gone in the favor of Eknath Shinde's faction, then it will clearly show that the whole narrative of Thackeray cousins coming together, working in the favor of Marathi Manus, would not have really worked that well. So it all depends now on the seats, or for that matter the wards that these parties have really gotten in their favor.
So it will really come down to minuscule details and who's won where by what margin. Everything is going to count. Yasha, stay on with us. Mayuresh, given the significance that comes with BMC elections, the heft that they really carry overall in the political scape of Maharashtra, if this were to tilt in the favor of the already ruling Mahayuti alliance led by the Bharatiya Janata Party, how could it multiply its political heft in the state, and what could that scenario look like really for the alliance going forward?
See, in Lok Sabha, we saw that how Mahavikas Aghadi gained a momentum. They got a good number of seats. Then in Vidhan Sabha, we saw Mahayuti getting a momentum, and they got a good number of seats, and they further established the government in Maharashtra. But now this particular battle, because apart from all the 29 Mahanagar Palika, what we are covering or what we are talking about, we are only talking about the BMC because this is the richest civic body and this is a prestige issue for all the political parties. Yesterday also when we were discussing the things, I've told that this is not only a test for Uddhav Thackeray or Raj Thackeray, but this is a test of Eknath Shinde's leadership also, because as Yasha said that he's always regarded as a man from Thane but not man from Mumbai or person from Mumbai. So that is one. Number two, it is a test of Devendra Fadnavis also, because this particular election, not a single leadership from the central of BJP had come here to campaign. In Mumbai, it was kind of a joke, or in Maharashtra, they used to make a joke that if there is a college election also, that the central leadership of BJP will come. But this time, Fadnavis or the BJP strategy was to basically put a lot of emphasis on the local leadership and the state leadership, and that's why they didn't basically the central leadership didn't come. So it's a taste of Fadnavis also, because after winning this election with a good margin, and after the BJP establishes their major, if we go by the current exit polls, then certainly it gives a kind of an elevation to Devendra Fadnavis also, what everyone is talking about, that he may be elevated in the center. So that is one. Yes, it is a big test for the big brothers, because both the brothers, because after 20 years they have reunited. In entire campaign, Raj Thackeray kept focus on basically putting the facts that why Mumbai is under the threat and who's basically ruining Mumbai, and where Uddhav Thackeray was basically making a lot of emotional appeal. So this basically test is for both the Thackeray brothers, because whether the Thackeray magic, which everyone used to talk about or which everyone talks about, will work or not, that this particular day we will come to know whether Mumbaikars still believe in Thackerays or not. Because after 2022, when the party got parted, Eknath Shinde is claiming that he's got a bow and arrow and he's got a name. But Uddhav Thackeray used to say that I am the real Thackeray because I am carry forwarding the legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray. But now, when both the brothers had reunited, they always say that we both the brothers have kept our differences aside and we have reunited, and we are the Thackerays, not the other parties. But whether Mumbai has accepted that reunion or not, that will come to know today.
And hence the issue of Marathi Asmita and how it continues to feature so heavily in political campaigns in Maharashtra, including the BMC. All of that is going to be found out in no time. Thank you, Mayuresh and Yasha, for joining us with those details.